So hey guys, Huzzy here bringing you another video. Now today is the start to a potential new series on the channel. It's going to be a very occasional series considering only, I don't know, between 5 and 10 champions come out each year. But anyway, I've had a PBE account for a few years now and I've never really done any content with it. And a lot of people always ask me, what do I think of the new champion? Where do I think they'd be played? What do I think of them? What would be good with them? So I want to start potentially doing some PBE content. And what I'm going to do is, it's nothing fancy. I'm in a bot game right now with somebody else, and I'm just going to be playing the champion and just getting used to the champion, while just, you know, talking about what do I think they're going to be. So this is Kindred. Kindred is supposed to be a jungler, which is kind of a weird thing, considering that they're ranged and everything like that. But she's supposed to be a jungler that basically is a ranged jungler that basically farms a lot in order to get her passive. Now, what I'm going to be doing, and again, you guys will have to let me know in the comment section, but I don't really watch a lot of LoL content myself on YouTube, and I do know a lot of people do PBE content, but I'm not entirely sure if people basically talk about the things I'm going to. So yes, I'm going to be going through the abilities, I'm going to be learning the champion while recording this video, but I'm going to also be talking about how are they practically going to be used, or are they going to be used, in fact, because some new champions basically come out and then are never used again. And yeah, I'm going to be basically talking, is this champion going to be useful in my first impression? And that's one thing to say, this is not a guide or anything of the sort. This is me literally playing a champion for the first time ever, getting used to it, and seeing, hey, is this champion actually good? Is this going to be in the meta? Or what would be good with this champion? So that's what we're going to be doing today. So as you can see, Kindred is a ranged jungler that basically, from what I can tell, is fairly mobile. So let's just go through the abilities really quickly now that I've hit level 3. So Q is, it fires 3 arrows dealing, you know, 60 plus 15 physical. Obviously that will scale up. And also you jump. So it's like a Lucian E combined with a, I don't know, a Runan version of Callista Q. And then also casting Wolf Frenzy or vaulting inside one of the of its effects, it reduces the cooldown of 2 seconds. So that is this, Wolf Frenzy. Moving on is, as Kindred moves, they build stacks of Vigor, or Vigor, whatever you want to say, up to a maximum of 100. At full stacks, Lamb's next attack drains 69% of the health. So that's pretty cool. And then the active is Wolf claims a territory. So this is what you'll see here. So this circle is what I mean when it says here. So if I use Q, this reduces the cooldown while I'm in this big circle. And also when you use the active, I think Wolf starts to attack. But anyway, yeah. Wolf claims a territory, attacking nearby enemies within inside it for 8 seconds. Lamb can direct him to a target by attacking them. So it does prioritize, this Wolf thing does prioritize who Lamb is, you know, fighting. And then E, you cripple an enemy, slowing their movement speed by 70% for 1 second. After Lamb attacks the target twice, her third attack instead directs Wolf to pounce on the enemy. So that's pretty cool, and also deals damage. So that's pretty cool, so let's keep farming anyway. So do I think, just initially, this is going to be a useful champion? In the current meta, I don't think so. The reason I say that is because the current meta junglers, you know, Kha'Zix is even coming back, Lee Sin is seeing play, and, you know, there's a few other tanky champions, you know, Elise is still very good. These type of champions love finding people in the jungle and love killing people in the jungle. And from what I can tell, Kindred, although she doesn't really lose health in the early game because of her sustain and stuff, I kind of just see her getting owned in 1v1s by these champions in the early game. And yeah, that's not going to be a great thing to do. So I don't see her being amazing, but she could be relatively fun to play. And the ultimate, obviously, is kind of the weird Kayle ult, Bard ult combination, which seems to be pretty broken. But anyway, let's use the... Can I use the E? Yeah, you can use the E on the crab. So that's kind of nice. But her playstyle is pretty cool. You can see Wolf does attack occasionally on the every third. And yeah, it's honestly quite weird to have a ranged jungler in terms of having a bow and everything. When everybody saw, you know, how this champion looks, everybody thought that this was going to be a AD carry. But with her passive basically stacking up from jungle creeps, it's pretty obvious that it's a jungler. Oh yeah, the passive is Lamb can choose a champion to hunt, so I actually haven't chose that, but I'll click on Z. So once I've clicked on Z, he is now my target. But anyway, so Lamb chooses a target to hunt by clicking on the portraits up here. And then Wolf periodically hungers and hunts enemy jungle creep. So occasionally on the minimap and stuff, you will see a jungle creep that you have to go and kill in order to build a stack. But anyway, gaining a kill or assist on the hunted target, both it can be on either of them targets, will basically give a stacking buff of 1.25% per stack, which is a lot. That is one thing to say. So I think Warrior potentially is what's going to be on this champion. It could be Devourer, but Warrior to me just kind of gives you that extra dueling potential in the early game, where I think Kindred is going to be the weakest early on. Devourer could work, and I think people probably will build Devourer on her. But if you want to have an impact in the early game, I do think Warrior will probably be the better option, as that's in most cases. Anyway, you can see down here on the minimap there is a swell. That means my hunt target for Lamb is this crab in this river. So I will eventually go kill that. Now again, they're using the kind of targeting system that they've got for Garen, that this is my target that I have selected down here. Now I do believe that I'll be able to change this target whenever this cooldown comes up. So I'll be able to just click on a different person if I'm finding that target is too hard to kill, which is kind of nice. It basically means that you can kill anybody you want. I don't know why I pasted a ward then. Oh, it's because my keybinds are different on the PBE. But yeah, I like the system so far. The playstyle is quite nice. Obviously, I'm playing with 160 ping, which is making it a kind of weird experience. But fairly fluid play, even with this amount of ping. But anyway, I'm going to do this and then maybe look for a gank onto the Zed. As I said, I am playing with another person. I actually asked on Twitter, does anybody want to help me make a video? And this person said yes. So let's see how effective the gank is. Oh, there's a Mumu bot, baby. Okay, he's going on me. And he escaped. Okay, so the one thing I have to say is obviously not really any direct CC you can really think of. I don't think there's any stuns apart from the ultimate, but that kind of, I think, stuns everybody who is in the certain range. So the ultimate, which we'll get in next level, is Lamb blesses the ground under the friendly target or a friendly target champion, creating an area which no living things, ally or enemy, can die. It's a bubble for everybody. Upon reaching health, units become immune. So that is pretty damn interesting, that it's a immunity for everybody. Let's use it now. So there you go. So upon reaching 10% health, there you go. She went invulnerable, but then she moved out of the area, so then she could die. So that's interesting. It basically makes team fights stay very clumped up, which, again, this is a more theory crafting thing than just a first impression. So if I was playing with a Kindred, I'd want probably an Orianna mid, or even, I'm not a fan of Malphite, but even a Malphite top lane. The reason for it is because you basically want to bait people to stay in the closed area so they get the effect of the ultimate for both sides of the team. But then once it runs out, which you can coordinate, especially in ranked 5s, that you can say, okay, it's running out in 3, 2, 1, then you can instantly use the Orianna ball because they should be all clumped. So I think Kindred is going to be a complement to a Wombo combo comp from just the first impression I'm getting right now. So that's going to be interesting. That'll be, I don't know, that to me instantly already shouts out then. Okay, I'm going to also click on Jarvan. I'm changing my target. Oh, here you go. This is the target that Lamb has for me to hunt. So if I kill this, I will get a stack of my passive. So there you go. Got the little shiny thingy that again shows that I've got a new target. And I think hopefully, did Jarvan just go back? I think Jarvan just went back. But anyway, that's pretty nice. But yeah, I think Wombo combo comp. But again, this is screaming out to me that this could mean that Kindred is not a great solo queue champion. There's an arrow. It could mean that Kindred is a competitive play champion or a ranked 5s champion. Because I think Kindred could use a communication in order to actually do good things. So yeah, that'll be actually interesting to see if that comes true. But yeah, we'll continue playing more. What I'm going to do now is edit to a kind of more later game, and we can see how much damage I actually end up doing. So my first impressions, honestly, is that Kindred does a lot of damage, but has a fairly vulnerable early game. I think she'll jungle clear, like I think you call her a she, but anyway, I think she'll jungle clear amazingly well. You'll be able to farm a lot, and you'll be able to get very fed in terms of if you go Devourer, or your early ganks do decent damage. I think you can do well in that aspect. The problem with her Kindred is I think that she's going to be very subject to her team doing well. Not just her. Because, you know, she's kind of like an AD carry jungler, let's say. And obviously AD carries kind of need other people to complement them in order for them to carry. So I don't know. It's going to basically make it so you have 2 AD carries on your team, 1 proper AD carry in bot lane, then 1 in the jungle. Which means, again, you're kind of making people, if you're going for a good team comp, you're forcing people to play tankier stuff in top lane, even mid lane, in order to have a rounded team comp. So she does do a lot of damage. That is one... Oh, God. That is one thing to say. But she also... There you go. She's very squishy as well. So with Zed becoming more popular, obviously Yasuo being a popular pick, she might have a hard time because, again, she's an AD carry in theory. So she's an AD carry with more survivability, but that survivability is for everybody. So while I'm dead, let's just quickly talk about item builds. So as I said earlier, I went Warrior. Thinking about it a little bit more, I think Devourer might be actually better because you're farming the jungle anyway for the passive as Kindred, and then you're farming it as Devourer, so it kind of makes sense. And it gives you attack speed. So I would actually go Devourer, not Warrior. I'd go definitely Blade of the Ruined King. And then for a little bit of tankiness, I'd actually go Triforce. I think Triforce on Kindred's going to be very good because it basically gives her every stat that she needs, but it also gives her a little bit of survivability. And then it'll be interesting to see how her item build goes. It'll be interesting to see if she continues building damage for the whole game, or she does actually go into defensive items into the late game. Because technically she is a AD carry in the jungle, where I think her damage output, and there's one thing to say, I think it could rival Vayne, potentially, especially with the stacks that she has, you know, doing percentage health and all that stuff, then going Blade of the Ruined King, and then going Devourer. Definitely think this champion could rival Vayne in terms of damage output, but obviously this is a jungler. So yeah, that is obviously very interesting thing to say. Boom. Lot of damage though, like it's ridiculous, especially on that 3rd hit with wolf attacks. That does a crazy amounts of damage. But yeah, my first impressions, as I said, this is just going to be a quick video. First impressions, very good, very fun to play. Just don't know if it's going to be a crazy good pick for, you know, solo queue and stuff.